We're going to start by talking about the state of the team, the state of the franchise. Jason, take it away.
Right now, all right, here's what I want to tell 49ers fans. Even if the 49ers had played their best games over these 5 games, there was still a possibility that they could have ended up with this 2-3 record. Very possible. The Green Bay Packers are a very good team. The Seattle Seahawks are who they are. And the Arizona Cardinals are actually proving to be a team that, listen, everybody, last year in 2019, the Niners are 5-0, but it'll end up no. But what happens? Sometimes this might be their year where things are breaking their way, and that's how it goes, right? So there's a distinct possibility that even if the 49ers played flawlessly, that they could have lost of these 3 games. Now, how likely is that? Not likely. But at the same time, this was still a possibility. So it's not a sky is falling type deal because this is something that could have happened, but it is. I am filled with concern. Okay, concern for what's the plan with Lance. What's the game plan when Lance actually has to start? Where is this organization going? As of right now, this is a borderline playoff team. As of right now, this is not a Super Bowl contender. And I try to brace people all off season for those expectations. You cannot walk into the season and say, run it back like 2019. They're automatically going to be there because everybody's going to be healthy. No, 2019, get rid of it. Stop talking about it. That's one off season. And the circumstances around how the 49ers got there, they can't be duplicated. But everybody wants to yell at me and tell me, oh, man, what are you talking about? You're just trying to be negative. No, it's the facts. You really can't duplicate what happened in 2019. So having that mindset, I think, is really what has 49ers fans right now upset because they're expecting, hey, they should be 4-1, 5-0, rolling into the Super Bowl. Listen, it's week 5, week 6 now. It's going to take time. And this team right now, as of right now, is not a Super Bowl contender. They're a fringe wild card playoff team in the NFC, and that can change with the bye week. So I want to be positive to start. It's not sky is falling, but I have so many concerns. I have questions that I'm never going to get the answer to, and we're going to talk about all those things. Mm-hmm. But as of right now, the state of the franchise is that this is a team that needs to take this week off, regroup, figure out what they're going to do going forward, and they have a possible chance with either quarterback at this point, although you're going to find out where I'm standing on this quarterback thing in a little bit, to make the playoffs. And that's all you can really ask for. You can't just say Super Bowl contender. You need to make the playoffs first.
Yeah. I think it's the fact that we're calling this the state of the 49ers. It brings me back to the state of the franchise event that they do during training camp. And the thing that bugged me about that event was they kept talking about, does this team kind of remind you of 2019? Are you feeling like we're going to take it back to that year? And I thought it was like a really inappropriate thing to do, and not like sort of something like the Patriots would never do. You're always looking forward. Harbaugh would never look back. He would be pissed at the question. And my question was, why are we not comparing this team to 2020? I mean, of course, Bosa's coming back, but it's essentially the same team. And what I think is interesting is like so far the season has broke just like 2020. A lot of guys are hurt. They're 2-3. The 2020 team was 2-3. And real quick, if you don't remember how that season unfolded, they won their next 2 games. They beat the Rams. They beat the Patriots. They were 4-3, like we expect this Niner team will be, right? I mean, they should win the next 2 games.
Hopefully. The Colts game is no slot. That's not.
But I mean, you can't. But, I mean, like this team could go 4-3, but then the 2020 team lost. That would be 7 of their last 9, and that was that. So I think it's interesting. You brought back the same team as last year, getting similar results.
That's the problem, right? And I think that there's a big flaw in the way that this roster was built, was just thinking, hey, we just need everybody healthy and we can just duplicate 2019. That was the wrong way to go about this.
We've been talking about this all year. Why would you assume that? And it's like we're not gonna develop Lance, Banks, Ambry Thomas, Trey Sermon, none of these guys because we're a Super Bowl team. Guys, you just went 6-10. What are you talking about? What reality are you in? 2019 was a long time ago. The league has changed. Other teams have improved. You're trying to recreate the past. You're trying to save the past. You're like a SIM card. You can't save the past anymore. Sorry, that was terrible.
No, that was good, though. I get it.
I got that from Lil Wayne. It was on like Louisiana, I think. 2006. Anyway,
I'll take any sort of hip hop reference from you at any time. Great.
Trying to save the past. You got to get better. You lost in 2019. This is 2020 all over again. I'd like to see some type of trade at the trade, something to shake up this team in some way. I don't know what it is, or you just embrace the future and play the young guys.
And what do you think your NFC opponents are thinking? Oh, they're going to run it back to 2019. Cool. We know how that team looks, and we know
Yep.
exactly what that's going to be.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
you're either progressing, getting better, or you're staying the same, which is essentially getting worse because
Right.
people are going to start passing you up. And I
And you're
think that
getting
it
older.
was
You've had more injuries. I mean,
right.
Kittle isn't as good as he was 2 years ago. Sorry, we haven't seen him in a while. I mean, Bosa's getting better. Warner's getting better. But a lot of these guys aren't the same. So, yeah, the state of the 49ers, stale. They need new life. They need something new. They need a rebirth now, I
That's my
think.
point.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, right? It was a flawed path to roster construction at this point. Like this was just this whole idea of just run it back to 2019. No, man, like you
Yeah.
have to be getting better and you have to start to change your ways because again, if you're not getting better, people are going to pass you up. And that's sort of what's happening right now. It's still early, still early.
Yeah. And really, we're going to go on to the next topic in a second, but roster construction. I think when people criticize Shanahan, a lot of times you can criticize his coaching, but it's easy to defend it most of the time. Hard to defend his roster construction. And you could say maybe it's John Lynch, whatever. The two of them make some strange decisions. And it's a year 5, I think, is caught up to them in a lot of ways. So that's all. Yeah.
I mean, their third round pick has no timetable to return from a few years ago. I mean, is Jalen Hurd even a real person anymore? I mean, I don't know, man. I look again, these misses. And we're gonna
Like
talk a little bit about
straight up whiffs, man, like
right.
mighty
And
cuts.
we're going to talk a
Not
little bit
nothing.
about these picks and everything as well too, because I have some interesting thoughts on what their plan was going forward, especially with Aaron Banks and Trey Sermon. But at the same time, it doesn't make you feel better. If I lay this plan out, you're not going to feel better. It might make you more upset when you hear what I have to say about it.